Thank you so much for joining us here on Taking Mental Health Off the Shelf. Today is a very special day. I'm actually have two of my really good coworkers here. We all work at Loma Linda Behavioral Health Institute. And so I just want to introduce Denise Dunn.
Thank you.
Yes, okay. So Denise Dunn has her own private practice in addition to working for Loma Linda, and she actually works with the Wisdom Track, which is the elderly population, which we'll get into in a little bit. And she's had 7 years of experience, 7 years of expertise in the field. Hey, little, plug in. Okay, so we want to welcome Lorianne Hetterly to the show as well. And she is also an active therapist working in the innovation program, which specializes with borderline personality, major depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. I mean, there's a whole host of things that she has a lot of knowledge on. But today, in particular, we're going to talk about young professionals trying to get treatment. Okay, but you brought up a good point, and I just want to bring that into the room, and that is the motivation. Like, they're, young professionals. I consider myself a little young,
Yes,
professional. Okay. No, but seriously, like, as a young professional, because you're young, there is a lot of like motivation coming from like parents. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I know, like, for me growing up, everybody in the Jamaican family is a nurse. Okay, like, that's the thing, which is nothing wrong with that, but I just kind of inherited that idea that April needs to be a nurse until I almost fainted when blood came. Okay, so I was like, that's not going to work out. That's not going to work out. I'm not going to be able to do it. And so, like, but I see that too, where people are kind of finding themselves in the process, which I also think is really a neat experience to watch as a therapist, because it's kind of like you're walking them through themselves.
Yes.
Okay, can you kind of expand on that?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay. Yeah.
So I love, because you're speaking to exactly one of the things I love to work with them on. They come in and it's like, this is what I thought it would be, or this is what I feel the pressure to do. And so we look at, what is it that you want?
Yes.
And oftentimes that's the first time we're asking that, or we're looking at that, we're digging into that. What is it that you want for you?
Yes.
Let's put on the table what mom and dad want for you. Let's put on the table what society is expecting of you. Let's put on the table what you've always dreamed of. Let's look and see, and let's kind of back to the drawing board. What is it that you want? What drives you? Who are you? And we get to bring in their identity. We get to bring in their goals, their hopes, their dreams. So it's really a fun place to be.
Yes.
A really exciting, a really hopeful place to be in. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes when you're seeking treatment, you're not as in tune with that hope. It doesn't feel hopeful. It feels, I'm anxious, I'm stuck, I'm depressed, I'm nervous, I can't find where I'm going.
Yes.
And so when we lay it out all on the table, that's what we get to do.
Yes.
Are they able to see hope at that time?
We work pretty quickly to at least put that on the table. We may not see the path to get there, but we want to see what is, if we can dream. Let's get our dreaming hats on. If we can dream what we want. Yes.
Because
remember, these are goal-driven people, right?
Yes.
Frequently, I don't want to make assumptions, but oftentimes that's a skill, a gift, a strength of theirs.
Yes.
They're goal-driven, so how do we make this happen?
This
is what we want. Now we can figure out the path. Now we can figure out the barriers. Now we can figure out what you want. But how can I help you get to where you want to be?
And kind of channel that motivation into a treatment realm to help them meet that goal.
Exactly.
I guess one of the things I just kind of also wanted to kind of pick your brain about is just because when you're realizing that, hey, like, maybe I've been doing this journey for someone else, there is like this sense of loss.
Absolutely.
And that can be really scary, because it's like, okay, I spent all this time and energy seeking out this career path, and I come to treatment and I figure out that, like, whoop, that was not about you. That was about somebody else. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so there's a lot of kind of like grief around that, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anytime there's a transition, we're talking a lot about people in transition, which is why I like the young professional piece of it. There's a lot of transition happening. And anytime there's a transition, I think there's grief. because you're losing something. You're going from something you had, and that's a loss.
Yes.
Even if you're moving to a really good thing, a really positive thing, a really great direction, there's still a loss. And I think if we don't acknowledge that and feel that and cope with that, then it ends up coming up and hitting us by surprise later on.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's a golden opportunity.
Exactly.
It's a golden opportunity. It's just processing through what comes up as the process. Yeah. And that's the beauty of therapy. There isn't like this special roadmap. It's just your own experience, your own journey, right?
It's not my agenda. It's not like I know how to do this.
Right. You mean you can't just fix it?
No. I mean, my magic wand.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Everybody's fixed.
Oh, wouldn't that be lovely?
I would love it. I do bring this in.
Yeah, she does that.
Yeah. But I think bringing up the young professional experience in treatment, I think it's so important just because there's a lot of people out there that do have a career, very young in their career, battling with a lot of different mental health issues and feeling really resistant with trying to get the help that they need. And so I really appreciate you really giving a snapshot of what that experience is like and really kind of talking about the resistance. I think the main thing to know as a young professional is that we're not immune. Like, no one's immune from... Right. Okay. Yeah. It's that we are all, I tell people all the time, we are all in the boat. Like, everybody's in the boat trying to make this thing happen called life, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that just really kind of taking it from that angle and knowing that we're not all, we're not immune, and that we are all living this life and trying to do the best that we can. And therapy is just an opportunity to get the coping skills that you need. And you're dealing with professionals that can help equip you with that. It's just the same concept, right? If I wanted to succeed in a specific hobby, I'm going to go to somebody who knows what they're doing and equip me with whatever is necessary for me to facilitate whatever I'm trying to facilitate. So I think that continuously framing mental health in that framework, I think, my hope is that it will lessen the stigma around it and just kind of giving people an opportunity to see themselves in that rather than separating themselves from that.
And I want to jump in and because I actually want to make sure that we know and bring into the room that therapy is more than just coping skills as well.
Right.
Yes.
Because oftentimes I have people who come in and say, why don't you, or I have friends or people that I'm talking to just in conversation that say, well, I already know how to deal with this. Like, I know coping skills. But they're still feeling stuck. It's something else. There's something like they can deal with the emotional piece of it.
Yes.
And they're still stuck. So they really struggle with, well, how can therapy help then? What are you going to do for me if you can't? If you don't tell me where to go, or what to do, and I already have the coping skills, then how can you help? What is this about?
Yes.
And that's where I think a lot of times I think people don't understand that about therapy, that it's so much more, and it can oftentimes be whatever it is that you need. Sometimes it's simply a place to explore. It's an unbiased opinion to hear and ask questions and help us process, ask the right questions to help us dig deeper and know what is the cycle that our brain gets in. What is going on for us that is keeping us in this spot that we don't really want to be in. And oftentimes new coping skills might come into that as well if needed, and it's so much more.
Yes.
So there's still new awareness because we're always learning and growing.
Yes.
And we need help in that. We're not designed to do that on our own.
Yes.
100% agree.
Come on with it, Denise.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us on Taking Mental Health Off the Shelf. We did it again, so hopefully we'll see you guys on the next episode of whatever the hell we're going to do next time. Okay?